taking a chubby, I will suck it up.
And now, back to the Big Dumb Fun Show.
Back on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Give us an email, info@bigdumbfunshow.com if you're a listener. If you've got a song you'd like to hear, or if you're a band and you've got a song you'd like us to hear and possibly share with our Big Dumb Fun Show listeners, or Fanimals as we like to call them here on the Big Dumb Fun Show.
A lot of weird stuff going on politically in the area. We had a Kansas representative today, Kevin Yoder. He's apologizing for going skinny dipping in the Sea of Galilee.
Where's that?
Apparently not
in Galilee.
In Galilee, Israel. Apparently it's a big no-no to do. It's considered holy water, and he's just
dipping
swimming in there.
And it's wrong because
skinny. Because it's
he didn't have a suit over his junk,
I guess.
basically. Even though
But
the water
aren't
gets
you-
to it, because it's not like you got to wear a waterproof suit to go there.
But whenever you're going into holy water, like a baby gets baptized, they're naked.
I don't think he was getting baptized.
He was not a baby at the time.
I
So
think he
maybe
may have
he
been
was-
tubing.
Maybe he was embracing the sacred holy water on his body.
You know what? And that's the
Maybe he
whole-
was just like another guy on a vacation with his wife going, listen, honey,
Let's do it.
let's go skinny dipping.
skinny
We're going to the
dipping."
lake house. It's on Galilee.
Who goes to Israel for a vacation? It's just the whole
did
thing
he
is
get
very odd. But this
caught?
guy has got to be thanking God for this coming out at the same time
At the
that
same
Todd
time.
Akin came out and said that a woman's body
Rape.
physically
Should it be
closes
legal or
down.
not? It seems to me, first of all, from what I understand from doctors,
Listen to
that's
this.
really rare. If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down. But let's assume that maybe that didn't work or something. I think there should be some punishment, but the punishment ought to be in the rapist and not attacking the child.
What about in the case of rape? Should it be legal or not?
It seems to me, first of all, from what I understand from doctors,
This is so
that's
stupid
really
they
rare. If it's a
looped it, played it
legitimate
twice.
rape, the female body has
I gotta hear
ways
it
to
again,
try
though.
to shut that whole thing down. But
What-
let's
they
assume
just-
that
they have ways.
maybe that didn't work or something. I think there should be some punishment, but the punishment ought to be in the rapist and not attacking the child.
Now
But,
there's
don't
some,
punish that unborn child that from an unwanted pregnancy just because it was a rape.
It was that this guy is so much firestorm is being started over this guy, and of course now he's apologizing. He's doing the whole "I'm sorry." I'm trying to find out what actual fact is out there. Like somehow this guy had been pretty confident that he was quoting fact.
All I can say is that I don't have kids, so I don't know what it's like to go through that. But I mean, I always try to imagine things like with my feet in their shoes.
Mm-hmm.
What if your daughter was raped? I mean, how would you feel as a parent? Would you want her to keep it because you're thinking, oh, the unborn child's so innocent? You probably wouldn't be, because it would be so hard to look at that kid. Most parents like to believe that their kid's going to get married and then have a kid, I think. Most kids want it. I mean, most parents want them to be happy and want to get pregnant. And I'm sorry, but naturally you can't control someone raping you. If you're going to, I mean, if someone's going to attack you, they're going to rape you.
If it's legitimate.
I guess.
If it was a legitimate rape,
I
maybe
think-
it
I
wasn't.
think
Maybe
that's-
she just wanted it.
I'm trying to think of what's really the cause of this, because there's one just guy spouting off. There's a couple
Well, here he is.
different. If you
Here he is apologizing.
do we have the apology?
You've been pro-life your entire career.
Yeah.
You've been very staunchly pro-life.
Yeah.
Are there any circumstances in your mind in which an abortion should be legal?
Well, I think sometimes people talk about life of the mother as a situation, Charles. And in my sense is that one of the foundational things America is built on is a respect for life. And so I would say you optimize life. So for instance, a woman has a tubal pregnancy or something. Well, technically, by my understanding, life begins at conception. So you've technically had conception, but the child doesn't have a chance and will soon kill the mother. Okay, so I would say in those kinds of situations, you try to optimize life.
If an abortion could be considered...
So that's
in
his
the case of,
exception
say,
right there,
tubal
right?
pregnancy
A tubal
or something
pregnancy.
like that.
Tubal
What about in the case
pregnancy.
of rape?
I don't know what a
Should it
tubal
be legal or
pregnancy
not?
is.
Well, you know, people always want to try and make that as one of those things. Well, how do you slice this particularly tough sort of ethical question? It seems to me, first of all, from what I understand from doctors, that's really
This is
rare.
the same
If it's a
damn clip,
legitimate
Gnurk.
rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that
I
whole
was like,
thing
this
down.
sounds so similar. This doesn't sound like an apology at all.
All I
Here it
can
says at the
say-
top, the header says, Akin said he misspoke.
Yeah.
All I can say is that if a woman is raped, they would have to prove if she wanted it or not, I guess. But if a woman's raped, I think she should have a choice if she wants to keep the baby or not. And I know a lot of people are like, well, she should keep the baby, put it into adoption. But how many kids are there already in foster care?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's a validating excuse to say, oh, we'll put it up for adoption, because we already have so many kids that want to be adopted.
You don't have to.
Well, I think sometimes people talk about life of the mother as a situation.
Yeah, this is just the same clip. Yeah, it's just the same clip. The guy he is issuing an apology, and I'm concerned now. He's not pulling out of the race. At least he's not as of right now. But he may be.
He's not pulling out early.
No, he's not pulling out
But
early.
he
as of
sounds
right now.
cold. He just seems very cold-hearted towards women. He seems very
No,
uncompassionate.
I think this guy. I think he just shares the sentiment that a lot of people share, and
What do you mean sentiment? What kind of sentiment
I
is
think
there?
this guy is saying what a lot of people, and maybe it's not in your circle, but what a lot of people feel. Like, this isn't just some crazy kook out there. There's a lot of people out there that
Here's
say,
somebody, they wrote the legitimate rape song here.
"Oh, good."
Well, if you're raped, you're raped. I mean, what are you going to doubt every single woman that says they're raped?
Legitimate rape, the only kind of rape, because I won't get pregnant that way.
This is awful. Like, this is really just awful.
I won't be living in fear anymore.
You guys are joking around too much about this rape issue. I think it's a big deal.
I think it's a big deal that
If these girls here, basically what they're saying is, Todd Akin has a point, is if you don't want to get pregnant,
Then don't get raped. Okay.
then say it was a rape, and,
I
and your
mean-
body will shut down and it won't allow you to get pregnant.
Why do you think I make you guys walk me out to my car that's 5 steps right out the door?
Because of Ross.
Because
Yeah.
no, because I think of that. I'm trying to be smart. I mean, I don't know who's hiding in the bushes.
We don't want
or-
anything to happen to you.
I know, and so if I get raped, my body's just gonna say, "Hey, shut down. You're getting raped."
You know what? And that's what I would love to find out the science behind it. Somehow this guy thinks that he's been told by somebody that, like, you have a chemical response
To the
during
trauma.
a moment of panic.
So if you're ovulating, the egg just says, "Oh, this is rape sperm, rape sperm, rape sperm." I don't think so.
I never took the class in 7th grade. I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm just saying the guy he thinks.
But you don't learn about rape.